One of my favorite movies of all time is The Godfather. The Godfather started the mob movie genre as far as I'm concerned. And I realize there's a lot of mob movies out before that, but really this was the one that put it on the map. So today, we're going to find a little weird you can't refuse. Godfather reference on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. The Godfather was the first movie I read the book first before seeing the movie, and it didn't make the movie seem weak in comparison. Every other book and movie I have read and seen have fallen way short, and don't even get me started on Heinlein's Starship Troopers. Now, what is your favorite book-movie combo? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First, the things we should all know. The Godfather is a classic American crime film directed by Francis Ford Coppola, released in 1972. It's based on the novel of the same name by Mario Puzo. The movie follows the Corleone crime family, led by patriarch Vito Corleone, played by Marlon Brando, and later his son Michael Corleone, played by Al Pacino, as they navigate the underworld of organized crime in New York City. Now, the film explores themes of power, family, loyalty, and the American dream, presenting a complex portrayal of the Mafia and its influence on society. The Godfather is renowned for its stellar performances, gripping storytelling, and memorable dialogue. It's become one of the most acclaimed and influential films in cinematic history, spawning 2 sequels, The Godfather Part 2 and The Godfather Part 3, in 1974 and 1990. Weird thing number 5, Marlon Brando as the Godfather. Now, Marlon Brando employed his renowned method acting technique to bring Don Vito Corleone to life. He immersed himself in the role by studying real-life mobsters and Italian-American culture, even going as far as to spending time in Little Italy to observe mannerisms and accents. Now, Brando's transformation into Don Corleone involved extensive makeup and wardrobe choices. The character's distinctive appearance, including the slicked-back hair, tailored suits, and cotton balls in his cheeks to simulate jowls, became iconic and synonymous with the character. Brando was known for his improvisational skills, and many of his scenes in The Godfather featured spontaneous moments. One famous example is when he pets a cat while discussing business with his visitors, a gesture Brando added on the spot, enhancing the character's aura of power, confidence, and authority. Marlon Brando's portrayal of Don Vito Corleone earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. However, he famously declined the award as a protest against Hollywood's portrayal of Native Americans. Instead of attending the ceremony, he sent an activist for Native American rights, Sacheen Littlefeather, to decline the award on his behalf. It backfired. She had been an actress herself, and it led to her being blackballed from being in movies for years. Weird thing number 4, the book versus the movie. The novel delves into more detail about certain characters and subplots that the film does not fully explore. For example, the book provides extensive back history and character development for secondary characters like Lucy Mancini and Johnny Fontaine. It also includes additional plot lines such as Michael Corleone's time in Sicily and Tom Hagen's background. Due to time constraints, the film had to omit certain characters and scenes from the book. One significant omission is the character of Lucy Mancini's doctor, Jules Siegel, who plays a prominent role in the novel but is entirely absent from the film. Additionally, certain subplots, such as Sonny Corleone's affair with Lucy Mancini, are either condensed or omitted entirely from the film adaptation. And while the film remains faithful to the core personalities of the characters, there are some differences in their portrayal compared to the book. For instance, in the novel, Michael Corleone is depicted as more calculating and ruthless right from the beginning, whereas the film emphasizes his transformation from a reluctant outsider to a ruthless mafia boss over time. Similarly, Tom Hagen's character from a more complex and morally ambiguous in the book compared to his portrayal in the film. The novel employs a more expansive narrative structure with multiple points of view and flashback sequences, whereas the film adopts a more linear storytelling approach. The book delves deeper into the history and internal politics of the Corleone crime family, providing a broader context for the events depicted in the story. In contrast, the film focuses more on the central storyline involving the power struggle within the family and Michael's rise to power. Weird thing number 3, the horse head. Now, the horse head scene was inspired by a real-life incident involving a Hollywood producer named Harry Kahn and mobster Willie Beoff. Beoff placed a dead horse's head in Kahn's bed as a warning after Kahn refused to comply with extortion demands. Mario Puzo, the author of the Godfather novel, incorporated this anecdote into his story. The horse head used in the scene was actually a real horse's head obtained from a pet food company. It was procured from a horse slaughterhouse, ensuring authenticity for the shocking moment. Actor John Marley, who played Jack Waltz, was genuinely horrified at the sight of the severed head, adding to the realism of his performance. Now, while the horse head itself was planned as part of the scene, the visceral reaction of actor John Marley was unscripted. Marley's horrified and disgusted reaction upon discovering the head in his bed was genuine, as he was not informed about the specifics of the scene beforehand. Director Francis Ford Coppola wanted to capture a raw and authentic response from Marley, which contributed to the scene's devastating impact. The scene featuring the horse's head was filmed in a single take due to the logistical challenges of working with a real animal head. The crew had limited time to shoot the scene before the head started to decompose, so they had to work quickly and efficiently to capture the moment effectively. Now, despite the pressure, the scene was executed flawlessly, resulting in one of the most memorable sequences of the entire film. Weird thing number 2, the movie and real life. Now, the film's portrayal of the Mafia was heavily influenced by real-life events and individuals associated with organized crime. Mario Puzo, author of the novel The Godfather, drew inspiration from his own experiences and research into the Mafia. Additionally, the film's producers consulted with former mobsters and law enforcement officials to ensure authenticity in the depiction of the Mafia culture and practices. And despite the Mafia's criminal activities being the subject of the film, there were instances of real-life Mafia involvement during the production. The film's producers received threats from actual mobsters who demanded a share of the film's profits. However, the producers refused to comply with these demands, leading to tensions between the Mafia and the filmmakers. Several actors cast in The Godfather had connections to the real Mafia. This included actors like Lenny Montana, who played Luca Brasi, and had ties to the Colombo crime family. Additionally, Johnny Russo, who played Carlo Rizzi, claimed to have had connections with the Mafia prior to pursuing an acting career. While The Godfather is a work of fiction, it accurately portrays many aspects of Mafia culture and practices. The film depicts concepts such as omerta, the Mafia code of silence, the importance of family loyalty, and the use of violence as a means of maintaining power and control. Despite a fictional narrative, The Godfather remains one of the most influential and authentic representations of the Mafia in popular culture. And finally, weird thing number 1, Al Pacino as Michael Corleone. Al Pacino was not the studio's first choice for the role of Michael Corleone. Paramount Pictures initially wanted a more established star like Robert Redford or Warren Beatty for the part. Al Pacino was relatively unknown at the time. However, director Francis Ford Coppola fought hard for Pacino, believing he had the depth and intensity required for the role. Pacino employed method acting techniques to prepare for his role as Michael Corleone. He immersed himself in the character's mindset, studying the mannerisms and behaviors of real-life mobsters. Pacino's dedication to his craft contributed to the authenticity and depth of his performance. In The Godfather, Michael Corleone undergoes a significant character transformation, evolving from a reluctant outsider to a ruthless mafia boss. Pacino masterfully portrayed this arc, capturing Michael's inner turmoil, ambition, and eventual descent into darkness. His nuanced performance earned widespread acclaim and helped solidify his reputation as one of the finest actors of his generation. Despite being a relative newcomer to Hollywood at the time, Pacino's performance in The Godfather earned him critical praise and several award nominations. He received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal of Michael Corleone, marking the beginning of his legendary career that would include multiple Oscar wins and nominations. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you liked it enough to like, subscribe, and share the video on all your social media. Go do that and I'll just wait here. Leave any opinions down in the comments, and if you're still watching, today's code word is horsehead. Leave that down in the comments to make sure you don't receive an offer you can refuse. Take care. Have a great night.